Hello, every pony. Scar89 here once again with another fan fiction reading. Today I am going to continue My Little Caboose Blues Magic. I know I've been doing those lately. I will get back to those other ones that I've been working on possibly right after I do this one, so see how it goes. So today, chapter 16 of My Little Caboose Blues Magic. So enjoy! Chapter 16 Dog's Life. "Thank you for your help, Griff," Fluttershy said as she finished preparing a sandwich. "Don't worry about it," Griff said, stomach growling. Fluttershy giggled slightly and gave the sandwich to Griff, who then took a small bite out of it. "Oh my god, this is awesome," Griff said, grateful for the food. "What's in it?" "Well, there's bread, jam, a little bit of honey, and some hay and oats." Griff slowly looked down at the sandwich, feeling slightly weird. "Oh well, at least it tastes good," Griff said, taking another bite. "I need to go feed the chickens and the other outdoor creatures. Are you going to be all right here?" Griff Griff looked at her out of the corner of his eyes. Fluttershy then smiled slightly and walked out the back door. Now she's getting it. Griff laughed, ready to take another bite of his sandwich. Then he heard a whining noise. He looked and saw a medium-sized dog looking up at him, wagging his tail. "What the hell do you want?" Griff asked the dog while he was chewing. The dog just sat down and lifted its front paws, still wagging its tail. "Go away, you mutt! This is my sandwich!" Griff muttered, making hoof motions, trying to scare it away. The dog paid no attention to the motions and started whining. Griff sighed and ripped off a piece of his sandwich and gave it to him. He then looked back at the sandwich, then back at the dog. "How did you get me to do that?" Griff asked the dog. "Woof!" the dog replied. Fluttershy then walked back into the room, and the dog turned its head to the side and stared at Griff. Griff shook his head and picked the sandwich back up. The dog then propped its head on Griff's leg, and he groaned. "Oh, I'm sorry. Is she bothering you?" Fluttershy asked. "She was supposed to be outside for feeding, but I guess she snuck inside. I'll put her back out and feed her." "Don't worry about it," Griff said, looking at the dog, tossing another piece of his sandwich to the dog. "I like dogs. This one seems pretty cool." "Oh, well, I'm glad you like it," Fluttershy said, smiling. "Does it belong to some pony?" Griff asked. Fluttershy made a small frown and shook her head. "No," Fluttershy said sadly. "One day I was walking back from the market and I saw a skinny little puppy, all alone, curled up in a ball with no collar on. I asked every pony in Ponyville, but no pony knows who owns this dog." "Wonder why he was all alone?" Griff asked, eating the rest of the sandwich. "It seems like a nice dog to me." "She wasn't a good dog when I found her. When I approached her, she started to growl at me," Fluttershy said. "When I finally got her to like me, I looked around and asked if anybody wanted to adopt her. But when they came to see her, she started acting very violently. I think you are the first one to meet her that she has not tried to bite by now." "Are you telling me this dog hasn't trusted anyone besides me?" Griff looked at the dog. The dog looked back down at the ground, seemingly to avoid eye contact. "I like it. He reminds me of me, if what you told me was true." "Oh, that's nice," Fluttershy said, and then coughed. I was wondering if you would mind accompanying me to the market? If that's all right with you." "Well, I was going to go back to sleep," Griff said, "but I guess I owe you one. Sarge would have never let me sleep for that long. So yeah, I'll come. You wanna come too, boy?" The dog barked at him, seemingly annoyed. She's actually a female dog," Fluttershy stared. Oh well. What's her name?" "She didn't have her collar on when I found her," Fluttershy explained, "and since I wasn't planning on keeping her, I decided it would be best if I left it to the owner to decide once she found one." "Oh, well then I'll name her... okay, I see. Oh, well then I'll name her." Griff laughed, now looking at the dog. "I think I'm going to call you Haley." That was me face palming. As he finished speaking, she stood up and started wagging her tail. "You're willing to adopt her?" Fluttershy squeaked, then hugged Griff. "That's so wonderful! I'm ever so grateful. I was worried she wouldn't get a home because of her attitude." "Don't mention it. Want to come to the market, Haley?" Haley barked and started to follow Griff. Fluttershy smiled and then walked out the door, followed by Griff, who in turn was followed by Haley. On the short walk to the market, Griff enjoyed the energy that Haley bounded after him with. In a few minutes, they reached their destination. And for those of you who are not too big on Red vs. Blue, if I remember correctly, Haley is the name of Griff's sister. Yeah. Female dog. Dog's name's Haley. What does that tell you that Griff thinks of Haley? Exactly. Thank you. "So what are you here for?" Griff asked. "I need to pick up next week's feed," Fluttershy said. "Okay. Who do we need to talk to get it?" "Oh, who do we need to talk to get it?" "We need to go to one of the booths. It's just over there," Fluttershy said, walking towards the booth with a picture of a cat on it. "Good afternoon, Fluttershy. Welcome back," the pony in the stand asked. Yes, Miss Feed." Ha! Feed with a PH. "Yes, Miss Feed," Fluttershy said, nodding. "All right," Miss Feed said, reaching under her stand and pulling up a big bag of animal feed. "That will be 14 bits." "14? But it was 10 last week," Fluttershy said. "Sorry, but it's 14. But now it's 14," Miss Feed said, maintaining a pleasant smile. "Oh, all right, I guess I can afford—" "Hang on," Griff interrupted, stepping in front of Fluttershy. "What's with this huge price jump?" "And who might you be?" Miss Feed said, raising her nose. "A friend. Now why don't you answer my question?" "I don't have to explain anything to you," Miss Feed said with a sneer. Griff, it's okay. I have the—" Fluttershy started again. "Hang on, Fluttershy," Griff asserted. Now how about we bring it back down to 10 before I make you bring it down?" "What are you going to do?" Miss Feed said, letting out a laugh. And no, I'm not going to make it like the character from the episode, the Iron Hoof, or the Iron Will episode, because she wasn't Miss Feed at that time. At that time, she was a cherry salesperson or something. Anyway, "What are you going to do?" Miss Feed said, letting out a laugh. Haley then started snarling and barking. Miss Feed recognized the dog instantly, as she was the first pony to be asked by Fluttershy to look after it. "Fine," she said in a trembling voice. 10 bits it is." "Glad to see we could come to an agreement," Griff said, smirking at her. Oh, Griff. Chapter 17. Buckshot. "You don't have to be so much of a pushover, you know," Griff said. "You should try being a bit more assertive." "Oh, no, I tried that before," Fluttershy said sadly. "I took a class, but it turned me into a monster." "I'm not saying to turn into an asshole. I'm just saying no once or twice," Griff trailed off. Say, is that Sarge?" Sarge, Caboose, Pinky, Applejack, and Big Mac then appeared on the other side of the market. "We're almost there," Applejack said. "My legs are tired," Caboose said. "Stop it, legs." "Quit your groaning, Caboose," Sarge grunted. Just then, the stallion that had lost the bet at the eating contest stood in their way. "Mind moving, kid? We're trying to get somewhere," Sarge said. "You owe me some bits," the stallion said. "Oh? And who are you?" Sarge laughed. "My name is not important to you, old colt," the stallion said. "Now I suggest you pay your due, or this could get really ugly really fast." "I don't owe you anything, so I suggest you step out of the way," Sarge grunted, glaring at the stallion. "You threw that competition, and you know it," the stallion snarled. "Because of that, I lost my money. So, as I said, Pay now, or I can't be held accountable for what I might do. It's not my fault you were an idiot. Besides, we didn't know any pony was actually betting on who would win. Well, well, you and those other hicks are going to pay me for my loss. Sarge glared at the stallion, and his left eye twitched. What? Sarge glared at the stallion, and his left eye twitched. Hey, Big Mac, how about we show this kind, young stallion some good old-fashioned Apple family hospitality? Yep, Big Mac replied with a smile. Big Mac then walked behind the stallion and hoisted him up, holding him so he couldn't move. Hey, what the stallion said, struggling to break free. You could say what you want about me, but you made a serious mistake, Sarge said, turning around. Please don't, the stallion said. I'm sorry, I'll leave you alone, I swear. That's not going to help you now, Sarge said with a smirk. Sarge brought his legs back and kicked the stallion in the chest. Ugh. The kick created a large flash and sent Big Mac and the stallion flying backwards. The force of the blow made a large noise, one that was very close to Sarge's heart. Ha! Shotgun. Sarge, that sounded like your shotgun type thingy, Caboose said. I know! I heard it! Sarge laughed, smiling wickedly. Sarge walked up to Big Mac and helped him up. Sorry about that, big guy. I guess I don't know my own strength, Sarge said with a laugh. Oh, my chest! Oh, Celestia, my chest! The stallion moaned, rolling back and forth. Sarge then turned his attention to the stallion, who was on the ground, clutching his chest. You going to apologize for that remark, son? I'm sorry, the stallion said. I'm so sorry, sir. Not to me, you idiot, Sarge said, backing up, allowing him to see Big Mac and Applejack. I'm extremely sorry about calling you hicks. It won't happen again, I swear, the stallion groaned, stumbling to get up. Glad you see everything as well, Sarge said, turning to gaze to the stallion. Now get the hell out of here, out of my sight, before you get sarged again. Yo. No, I'm kidding. I added that part. The stallion promptly stood up, still clutching his chest. Clutching his chest? Why did I say clutching? It says clutching, and I said clutching. Which was now bright red, with one hoof. He looked at Sarge and then started speed walking away. Thanks for sticking up for us, Sarge, Applejack said. Don't mention it. Nobody disrespects any Reds. Except me, Sarge finished with a hasty laugh. That was amazing, Caboose then looked at Sarge's side. Hey, Sarge, you're getting one of those thingies. What are you talking about? Sarge asked, looking at his flank. Oh? A symbol was starting to appear on his flank. It took a couple of seconds, but soon it was clear. It was a red shield, but with a pair of hoofs kicking a pony in the chest embroidered onto it. Sarge stared at this mark for several seconds and started to smile. My true talent is hurting others? Sarge asked, still grinning. I had a feeling it would be something amazing. Where's Griff when you need it? Where's Griff when you need him? No, I had a feeling it would be something amazing. Where's Griff when you need him? Congratulations, Sarge, Applejack said, extending her hoof, which Sarge met. Hey, Sarge, we should start calling you Buckshot, Caboose said excitedly. Sarge glanced at Caboose, then back at to his cutie mark. You know, Caboose, that ain't half bad, Sarge said. S-Dog was getting a bit old. I think I'll retire that name. Sarge, that was pretty fucking awesome, Griff said, walking up to Sarge. Griff, what the hell are you doing here? I didn't expect to see you ever again, Sarge said. I expected you to be sleeping all day for the rest of your life. I was just giving Fluttershy a little help. I think this is the most work I've ever seen you do. Ever, Sarge said. Griff shook his head, trying to get his head clear. Whoa, that was weird. Now I need to work on bringing my average back down. Griff yawned. Hey, Fluttershy, mind if I go back to your place to crash? Well, We got the food, so we were about to go back anyways, Fluttershy said. Great. Time to catch some Z's, Griff said with a small laugh. Griff then looked at the tall red stallion. Who's the big dude? That's Big Macintosh, Sarge said. Sarge then turned his side to Griff. Hey, Griff, look what I got, Sarge said. Sarge, no offense, but I really don't want to look at your ass, Griff said, shielding his eyes and looking away. Not my ass, you moron! My mark thingy! Sarge grunted. Oh, good job, Sarge, Griff said, looking closely at it. What did you get it for? Ah! Griff then found himself flying through the air with a heavy pain in his chest. Ow, my chest! Griff moaned. What the hell was that for? You asked how I got it, Sarge said, letting out a hearty laugh. So I showed you. Why am I not surprised your special talent is hurting people? Griff asked, trying to stand up. Come on, Fluttershy, I need to sleep off this pain. Oh, okay, Fluttershy said, trying to ease some of the burden off of Griff by putting his front leg around her neck. Oh, this guy is a genius, Darkwing. This comedy is just so good. Equestrian Earth, the MMORPG. I want to see that later. Okay, sorry. Chapter 18, Privacy. Tucker's eyes slowly opened as he let out a sore groan. Back still hurting from the night before. He slowly sat up on Rainbow Dash's bed and let out a yawn before he rubbed his eyes and looking around the room. Everything in the room was blue. There were a few posters on the wall, but it was barren of anything other than that. He got out of the bed and approached the large window perched in the middle of the wall and looked outside. The sun was just rising. Tucker's mouth opened slightly as he witnessed sunlight bouncing off of all the buildings that were set upon the clouds. Pretty cool view, isn't it? Rainbow Dash asked, yawning lightly. Huh? Oh yeah, it is pretty cool, Tucker said, turning to look at Rainbow Dash. Rainbow Dash put her front legs above her head. Did you have a good sleep? Rainbow Dash asked, jumping off the bed. Not really. Had a tough time falling asleep, Tucker groaned. How about you? Well, you kept tossing and turning, so you pretty much kept me up all night. I guess that's a lot. I get that a lot. I guess an apology is in order, isn't it? If you want, but it won't help, Rainbow Dash said with a laugh. Good. I hate apologies anyway, Tucker said, stomach growling. Ugh. Got any food? You can go to the kitchen downstairs and make something. I'm going to go take a shower, Rainbow Dash said, about to walk into the adjacent room. Pfft, please. Cooking is a woman's job, Tucker said, then found himself knocked on the ground by a pillow. Don't be an ass, Rainbow Dash said, rolling her eyes. All right, Tucker pouted, leaving the room. Tucker then found his way to the kitchen. He looked around and noticed a couple cabinets, an oven, and a fridge. He walked up to the fridge to see what was inside. There was a lot of produce lining the bottom shelf, and the other shelf had some bottles of milk, a jar of jam, and little much of anything else. Tucker wasn't too happy about eating any of that, so he went to check the cabinets. The first cabinet had some hay and wheat. The second had 2 loaves of bread. Where the hell do you keep the good stuff? Tucker muttered. Tucker then grabbed the bread and cut a couple slices out of it. He then grabbed the jam out of the fridge and spread it all over the slices and slapped them together. He took a bite out of the sandwich and he smiled. He shoved the rest of the sandwich in his mouth and let out a happy burp. Now that he had something to eat, he stretched once more and went to find Rainbow Dash. When he got to the room, the sound of the shower had stopped. Tucker then opened the door to the bathroom and felt a searing pain shoot across his face, and he was sent flying into the wall. What the hell do you think you're doing? Rainbow Dash yelled furiously. I thought you were done showering, so I was going to see what's going to happen next, Tucker said, feeling his nose, which was now bleeding. I didn't expect Beat Tucker to be on the agenda. Well, actually I was. Just not like this. Rainbow Dash made direct eye contact with Tucker and squinted at him, which made him shake nervously for a split second. What did you expect? I just got out of the shower, Rainbow Dash yelled. I didn't even dry off yet. What difference does it make? It's not like you wear any clothes anyway. You're pretty much naked all the time, Tucker said. Rainbow Dash brought her hoof back, about to punch him in the throat. She put her hoof back on the ground and sighed, still glaring at Tucker. It's the principle of the matter, Rainbow Dash said, climbing down. How would you feel if I walked in on you in the shower? Well, actually, sorry. Well, actually, Tucker started with a smile. If you want to die, finish that sentence, Rainbow Dash said. Tucker stared at her for a couple seconds and shook his head. No, I think I'm good, Tucker stuttered. Rainbow Dash turned and went into the bathroom and slammed the door extremely hard. Rainbow Dash felt her heart racing, not because of the anger, but because Tucker had walked in on her coming out of the shower. After a few minutes of Tucker sitting and rubbing his neck in silence, Rainbow Dash opened the door and looked at Tucker, who flinched at the sight of her. Don't worry, I'm not going to kill you. Not yet, at least. Okay, cool. Good, Tucker said, getting up, starting to walk over to Rainbow Dash. I'm still mad at you, though. So if you say one thing, Rainbow Dash started. One thing. I will not hesitate to slam your head into the ground. Tucker started to laugh, but then saw the seriousness in her eyes. Fine, Tucker said, weakly, laugh dying in his throat. So, what are we going to do now? Well, I didn't really plan for anything, but I guess I could show you around Cloudsdale, Rainbow Dash said, tapping her chin thoughtfully. My wings are still hurting, though, and it doesn't help that my face feels like it was put through a shredder, Tucker whined. Well, I can't say that you didn't deserve it, Rainbow Dash said, then let out a laugh. Should we go see what the others are doing? Sure thing. Okay. Rainbow Dash and Tucker walked down the stairs and got to the door. Tucker opened it and took a step out, but was dragged back in by Rainbow Dash. What are you doing? Tucker asked. I just thought that since your wings seem to be damaged, you wouldn't want to fall from the height, Rainbow Dash said. Tucker walked up to the door and looked down. Oh shit, I completely forgot, Tucker said, a smile breaking out on his face. Would you mind carrying me down? Rainbow Dash rolled her eyes but smiled in return. Fine, but only this once. We're not going to be making a habit of me touching you. Damn, Tucker said, chuckling slightly. Funny, because Tucker's a pervert. Chapter 19. Thank you and goodbye. Church laid awake in the guest room's bed for hours after dawn. He slept for a couple hours, but he felt more awake than he ever has been in his entire life. Sorry. He heard the door of Twilight's room open and he smiled, getting out of the bed. He walked up to the door and opened it. Hey, Twilight, Church said. Oh, hi, Church. You're up early. Did you have a good sleep? To be honest, I had a great sleep. Twilight smiled at him and started making her way down the stairs with Church in tow. That's nice, Twilight said, walking towards the bookshelf. Listen, Twilight, I just wanted to say thank you. For what? Twilight asked, clearly confused. For listening, Church replied simply. Oh, that was no big deal. It was for me, Church said, shaking his head slightly. It was really gratifying to be able to get all that off my chest. Everyone can listen, though. I can't see why what I did was so great, Twilight asked. Everybody I have ever met claims to listen, but you were the first to actually hear what I had to say, Church said. And it really helped me clear my head. I feel as if a great burden has been lifted off my shoulders. Well, that's good. Church then walked up to her and hugged her. Really, thank you, Church said, smiling. It's nice to have somebody that I can feel I can actually trust, and not just some idiot. Twilight let out a soft gasp as her cheeks turned a subtle shade of red. Oh, you're welcome, Church, Twilight said as she returned the hug. Church let go of Twilight and let out a sigh. So, what are we doing for the rest of the day? Well, I need to reorganize my bookshelves by publishing date. Then I plan on going to see Rarity. She wanted me to see her most recent work. Okay, I'll help, Church said. Twilight smiled at him. You really don't have to help. I mean, it's pretty boring work. Still, I need to do something around here, Church said, laughing. I don't like just sitting around all the time. I've done too much for that in my life. Well, Grab some books and start organizing. Church nodded and started to open the books to find the date of publication. Soon he, fa- Soon he found where they were and started to work. Church and Twilight worked in silence for hours. After all, what was there to talk about? Soon, Twilight finished before Church, and she helped him finish the other wall of books. Sorry, my reading's getting weird. Thank you for the help, Twilight said. No problem, Church said. Spike then came down the stairs and looked around. You organized the shelves by yourself? No, Spike. Church helped me. Spike looked at Church, squinting his eyes. Spike then shrugged. That's cool, I guess. Now that that's all organized, we're going to see Rarity. You want to come, Spike? You know it, Twilight, Spike said, hopping on Twilight's back. Church smiled, seeing the sign of love in Spike's demeanor. In a few minutes, they found themselves in front of Carousel Boutique. Inside, Simmons was wearing the suit, frozen in place by Rarity's spell. And done, Rarity said, taking the suit off of Simmons. I must say, this suit looks fantastic on you. Thanks. That spell worked wonders, Rarity. I would have thought that standing for so long would hurt my legs, Simmons said. And this time around, I didn't even feel nervous about the needle. Rarity smiled at Simmons and started walking towards the door, bringing the two pieces downstairs to put on display. Simmons, I just wanted to apologize for how I treated you when we first met, Rarity said, frowning slightly. I didn't know you would be such a help. That's okay. I'm used to that sort of treatment, Simmons said. And while we're being honest, I wasn't too thrilled about meeting a new woman, because the last few I have met were nut jobs. I can't remember how Simmons sounds for some reason. Rarity and Simmons both started laughing lightly as they made their way down the stairs. We're terrible, Simmons stated flatly. Yes, we are, Rarity replied. My voice cracked terribly. Rarity then placed both the suit and the dress on display. You're quite the gentle colt, you know that? Rarity asked. Please don't be too nice. Sarge would rip my head off if he saw me getting compliments, Sarge said, laughing. Well, Sarge isn't here right now, is he? Rarity said. Rarity then walked up to Simmons and gave him a kiss on the cheek. At that moment, the door swung open and Twilight, Spike, and Church walked in. Hello, Rarity, Twilight said. We're not interrupting, are we? Rarity? Spike said somberly. Spike looked away from Rarity and started to glare at Simmons. Spike then jumped off of Twilight's back and ran out the door. What's with the dragon? Simmons asked. I don't know what's come over him, Twilight said. I think I know what did, Church said. Come on, Simmons, we need to go talk to him. Me? Why me? Simmons asked. Just don't argue, okay? Church demanded. Fine, Simmons said resignedly. Simmons and Church both walked out the door to find Spike. So what is with the dragon? Simmons asked. His name is Spike. He's Twilight's assistant, Church said, then looked at Simmons. I think he likes Rarity. And? Simmons said. What made him storm off? He saw her kiss you on the cheek. How do you think that made him feel, dumbass? Church said. Simon said nothing and just looked at the door. Church nodded around and saw Spike sitting on the fence. There he is. Spike heard Church and looked up, angry tears in his eyes. He jumped off the fence and started walking away. We just want to talk, Church said, running after Spike. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to talk, Spike yelled. Do you have any idea what I'm feeling? Church caught up with Spike and put a hoof on his shoulder. More than you will ever know, Church said sadly, which made Spike stop. Aw, poor Spike. Chapter 20. Common Ground. I'm listening, Spike said, not looking at Church. Church sighed, trying to think of what to say. I know you like Rarity, he said after a short silence. Wow, was it that obvious? Spike laughed hollowly. I just know what love looks like, Church said. Really? Have you had a crush on a girl for 2 years? Have you not been able to tell said girl that you have loved her for 2 years how you truly feel? Spike asked, tears trickling down his face. Try nearly a decade. A decade? Spike repeated quietly. Yeah, A decade, Church said. Now tell me, how does Rarity treat you? She treats me divinely, Spike said, heart beating faster. When I'm around her, I feel as if nothing else matters in the world. Then you have absolutely nothing to be sad about. Do you want to know how the girl I love treats me? Spike thought for a second and then nodded. She constantly tries to find ways to hurt me. She's always berating and insulting me. She treats me as if I am nothing. And you want to know what makes it worse? She knows that I still love her, even after all that, and it gives her that much more pleasure in my pain. Spike looked down at the ground. The difference between you and me is that Rarity cares about you. Be it as a friend or something more, I do not know, Church said. Now ask yourself, do you really want to ruin what you have? Would you really hate Simmons, even if he makes Rarity happy? Spike looked at Church, smiling lightly. No, that's all I want for her, Spike said, wiping the tears off of his face. I just want her to be happy. And if you truly love someone, don't you think you should let them be with whomever makes them happy? I guess so. Listen, Spike, I know you probably still hate me. Oh, that's Simmons. Listen, Spike, I know you probably still hate me, and I understand that, Simmons said. I just want you to know that that kiss didn't mean anything. Not to Rarity, and not to me. She was just thanking me for helping her around the boutique. Oh? Spike said. I guess I made a rear end out of myself, huh? Kind of, Simmons said, laughing slightly. Torch glared at Simmons, but then started to laugh, soon to be joined in by Spike. Sorry for acting that way, Spike said, no longer laughing. It's just, back at Twilight's place, when I came downstairs and saw you with her, I thought you were going to replace me as her assistant. And when I saw Rarity kiss Simmons, I thought I was being replaced there, too. Don't worry about it, Church said. Now let's say we go back. Sure, thanks for doing this. No problem. I guess we have more in common than we originally had thought. Yeah, Spike said quietly. Simmons, do you mind not saying anything to Rarity? You didn't even have to ask, Simmons said. I don't know why I was botching that one up so much. You guys alright? You're not a bad guy. You guys are alright. You're not a bad guy yourself, Spike, Church said. Simmons, Church, and Spike then made their way back to the boutique and opened the door. Spike? Twilight yelled, running up to Spike to hug him. I was so worried. Why did you storm out? Are you alright? I'm alright, Spike said, looking back at Church and Simmons. Sorry about worrying you. Spike then looked at Rarity and started smiling. She then looked him in the eyes and smiled back. So, how did you like the piece, Twilight? Simmons asked. I think they look fabulous, Twilight said. It may even be her best work yet. Thank you, Twilight, Rarity said. Simmons helped me greatly while making these. That's great, Twilight said, smiling at Simmons. Well, all I did was stand there, Simmons said, crimson deepening the red of his cheeks. You're too modest. Now I have 2 days until they come to pick it up, and I have no further orders coming in. That's good, Twilight said. Should we go see what the others are up to? It sounds good to me, Church said. Where do you think they are? Something tells me I know where Griff will be, Simmons said. Really? Twilight asked. And where would that be? Sleeping at Fluttershy's place, Simmons laughed. Well, let's go then, Rarity said, walking towards the door. They soon made their way out of the carousel boutique and started making their way towards Fluttershy's cottage, where Fluttershy and Griff were just returning from the market. I wonder what came over me, Griff muttered. What do you mean? Fluttershy asked. I worked harder today than I ever have in my entire life, Griff said. It's going to take a whole lot of doing nothing to bring my average back down. Isn't working hard a good thing? Fluttershy asked. Griff looked at Fluttershy and she started to laugh. You're not getting it. Now you're. Oh, okay. Now you're getting it, Griff said, patting Fluttershy on the back. The reason I don't do much is because then I start getting it, and everybody to think that I work hard. And the more people think I work hard, the more things they try to tell me to do. By doing nothing, nobody asks me to do anything because they know I won't do it anyways. You're just a lazy colt, aren't you, Griff? Fluttershy asked, shaking her head. Damn straight, and I wouldn't have it any other way, Griff said with a smile. Griff then jumped on the couch, and Haley jumped onto it next to Griff's leg. At that moment, the others arrived at the door and knocked. Fluttershy went and opened it. Oh, hello! What are you guys doing here? Fluttershy asked. We came to see what you guys are up to, Twilight said. Oh, well, me and Griff just got back from the market. He helped me with some animal food. Simmons and Church looked at Griff. You're kidding, right? Church asked. Yeah, you really expect us to believe that Griff has done something productive? Simmons asked. Fluttershy turned and looked at Griff, who gave her a small wink. And that is all I guess I'll read for today. Um, this has almost gone on for 36 and a half minutes. That's long enough. Doesn't need to be too long. Doesn't need to be too short either. Ugh. Stretching. Sorry. So yeah, this is getting hilarious at points, but it's also getting not hilarious. I really like the parts when Sarge beats up on Griff because Griff's lazy. Anyway, yeah, I guess I'll record another chapter. You can listen to that, or you can listen to one of my other videos if you like. Like I said, the past couple videos. Go check out Multifanfic a Day. Go check out Brony Fanfic. They're both great writers, good friends of mine. Or not writers, readers. Both good friends of mine, good readers, great readers actually. Much better than I think much better than I am. Sorry about the voices that they kind of change around every now and then. I'm not doing so well with the voices, am I? Sorry. But without, I guess if that's the only thing I have to say now, I guess like I always say, I'll record another chapter. You can watch that when it comes out, or you can watch all my other videos. But until then, I guess I will see you guys later. Bonnie on!